Welcome to the Daily Signal's Issue in Brief. Hi everyone, I am Genevieve Wood, Senior Contributor at the Daily Signal. At issue today, well, the Heritage Foundation this week launched its first annual Index of Culture and Opportunity, and I actually had the opportunity to get a sneak preview of it. You can see it right here, and I will tell you it is a gold mine of information on the social and economic trends that really impact how much access people have to opportunity in this country. So joining us now to talk more about it, you see her picture at the bottom of the screen, is Jennifer Marshall. Jennifer is the co-editor of the index. She is also the Vice President of Heritage's Institute for Family, Community, and Opportunity. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Genevieve. Thanks for doing this.
I'm glad to. Well, this has got great information in it, but let me ask you first and foremost, why put this project together? What was the thinking behind it?
Well, we have this ongoing conversation about opportunity in America, and it's important that that be informed by both social, cultural factors and economic factors. It's important that we look at those two areas at the same time. So we felt like we needed to bring together factors from both sets of economic and social data out there and really bring in some of the best expertise in the country and put it all together in one focused, concentrated report in order to make a difference in these over time, to track it over time annually and see if we're getting better, if these things are getting on the right track, or if they're headed in the wrong direction.
Well, now you said you're tracking both social indicators and economic indicators. I think there's 31 in total, but what exactly are you tracking? What does that look like?
So we're looking at indicators in three buckets. The first is culture, and that includes things like the marriage rate, the divorce rate, the percent of children who are living in single-parent homes, and then we look at poverty and dependence. And so that's factors like the labor force participation, unwed childbearing, the percent of the number of people that are participating in various welfare programs. And then finally, our third area is general opportunity, and that is educational indicators as well as economic data that people might be more familiar with in terms of job openings or startup job openings. So if we put it all together and get it in this one report.
So when people think of these numbers and indicators, we're not talking about polls here, like what was, people's view on marriage last year. This is really a 10-year window of social science data looking at all these indicators you talked about. Is that right?
This data is coming from nationally recognized, well-respected data sources like the Census Bureau or Vital Statistics, and they are well-regarded. They're part of the major debate in our country about these issues. So yeah, that's what we're looking at, and we track it over time, so we present a historical look at these, and we particularly look at the change over the last 10 years. Is that headed in the right direction or the wrong direction when it comes to opening the doors of opportunity?
Okay, so for those watching, we give them a sneak idea into how well we're doing. I mean, you've seen all the indicators. I know in some areas we're doing well, some areas we're not doing so well. Where are we in terms of generating opportunity for people across the country?
Well, sadly, in too many of these areas, we are not doing well. We're seeing that the marriage rate is declining. We're seeing unwed childbearing really rising. We're seeing the student loan debt, the burden of student loan debt is really weighing graduates of college down. These are the kind of things that are going in the wrong direction. We do have some highlights, though, some good news in here, and that's that the abortion rate has come down. Violent crime rate has come down. We're actually seeing somewhat of a rise in graduation rates. And when we take a step back, we can look at what's the kind of thing that has resulted in making those better, in making a change that has brought about better results in these, and how could we bring about the same kind of changes in the other indicators?
Well, and in terms of, we talked about what was the goal of this project, and you said it was to make society better, basically. Yeah. I mean, who are the roles in this? I mean, there's obviously a public policy role, there's a civil society role. How do those come together?
Yeah, and it's so critical when we're talking about these cultural data points in particular. Policy does send messages. Policy incentives matter. It matters if the welfare state is characterized by handouts or hand-ups to help people get work. It matters if the regulatory burden is stopping enterprises from creating jobs. So policy matters, but it also really matters whether communities are instilling the work habits and the ethic and virtues that are going to allow Americans to grab hold of the blessings of liberty and to pass those on to the next generation. So we're going to need cultural leaders, civil society leaders, families raising up a next generation that is able to maintain these blessings of liberty. We need policymakers to set the right cues and determine the best policies as well.
Well, and I think that's one of the cool things about the index from my vantage point is like it's got a lot of great information. There's a lot of neat charts. There's a lot of data in there that I think people, no matter who you are, can really digest. But you also, I think one of the features that's really neat is that you've pulled together a whole host of experts from other think tanks here at Heritage, but other places as well, other organizations, to kind of give narrative form to this, what these numbers mean and what we do to try to fix the problems where we are off track. Who are some of those folks?
Yeah, I think these expert commentaries make it a really interesting read. And we've got people like Catherine Lopez from the National Review, a journalist that many people are familiar with. We've got Larry Mead, who's a professor at New York University. We've got Robert Dorr, an expert in poverty at the American Enterprise Institute, who used to run welfare services in New York City, so he knows of what he speaks. And we've got our friend Virginia Walden Ford, who has been such a hero for school choice across the country. So great diversity of folks with different angles, different perspectives and expertise, bringing that all together to give a narrative form, as you said, to this.
And I hope to actually talk to a number of those folks that you just mentioned in an interview setting, kind of like we're doing, to get more specific background on the different, where Virginia talking about the education issues and indicators and school choice, and the others on a whole host of issues. I think will be really interesting for folks. Jen, last question for you. Who are you hoping is going to use the information in the index?
Well, I really do hope that it will be in the policymaker circles here in Washington, D.C., because there are so many things going on. We really do have to stop and pause and focus on what these important factors influencing opportunity are. So to be able to concentrate on these over time, I think, is something that will be a real help to policymakers. And then secondly, we've seen so many citizens get involved in policy discussions over the last few years. This will be a great tool, whether it's at town halls, excuse me, or in any kinds of discussions with lawmakers testifying at local civic opportunities. That exchange is going to be a great one between citizens and their elected officials.
So as always, it takes everybody to kind of get this thing done.
Yeah.
It's really good, Jennifer. I mean, I haven't had a chance to read it word by word, verbatim, but it's got great information. I want to share with everybody how they can find out more about it. Obviously, you can go to heritage.org, but let me give you the exact address. Go to index.heritage.org/culture. Again, that is index.heritage.org/culture. And of course, you can learn more about this and all the different issues and the like that affect you on a daily basis by consistently visiting us at dailysignal.com. So until next time, thank you. And Jennifer, thanks for giving us insight here.
Thank you so much.